Let's go. Strip on point. Man. This is just a basic armor. It's basic. Not really sure who drops it. Yeah, man. But this is not my first playthrough, so I finished this game. Wait, this is actually my second time finishing the Shadow of the Erdtree. Chill. Is this guy the toughest one? Oh, it's cool. I got him this time. Yeah, but in Erdtree they gave us the lightning one, which is the weakest one. Which is kind of, I don't know what. In Erdtree they gave us the weakest one. Chill. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite part of the DLC.
It was never kindly mixed.
I know most people hate this boss fight, this NPC boss fight, but I kind of love it because of what they saying in their dialogue during the fight.
I suppose
It's
it must
fire.
be what His Eminence,
For me,
or perhaps the Erdtree desired all along. The clashing of the favored lords, such that one would prevail. So be it. If you insist upon facing Nicola the Kind, then I will run you through whoever you might be. Don't tarry now.
Because this is the only time in the game where they recognize you as Elden Lord. They know that you are here. They know that you Elden Lord. I always do all the quest lines, so I have all of them.
Don't you dare approach Mikula the Kind. Needle Knight's Ledder, Dryleaf Dane, and our allies will never allow it.
I am the Red Maid Freya. The time has come. I cannot hope for a worthier foe. This is our moment. Let's make it something to remember.
Kill. No. Wow.
I am Ansbach of the Pure Blood Knights. I stand with blade aloft, blood of fire, for the dignity of my lord and master Mold.
I never could have imagined this. That you might be the Erdtree's rightful lord.
I can do it too, clown.
Such as it is, this battle could not be more fitting. You were fine. In your honor, truly a glorious battle.
Mikula, please. Redeem our clan.
Don't let him. What the?
Make the world
Yeah, the music is crazy in this boss fight. Yeah. Those united in cause. I think that's the name, right? Those united in cause.
Righteous Tarnished. That was an astounding battle, to be sure.
Nah, I never betray
Now
you
I suppose this leaves only
because
one.
I need him in this
In
boss
truth,
fight.
I cannot calm my quivering.
I need him in
Challenging
this
a
boss
god
fight.
is no small matter. I'm afraid
Not this
I
one against Radahn, but in
underestimated
the previous one.
Appearing
And
frail in both
I
body and
can't.
mind, I presumed it'd be like
All
to
four of them
stumble
against
upon
me,
the
I'll
field of
struggle,
battle.
especially with a
What a
strength build.
fool I was. He serves another master, but Satiolier performed magnificently. Perhaps he too quivers with anticipation, as do we. Oh. Something you want to get off your chest? Well, you needn't worry. It was you, wasn't it? Who defeated Lord Moog. Fear not. I bear no grudge against you. His Eminence was felled in an honor. Besides, what right have I to complain? I blame the enchantment more than anything. Righteous, I swear upon. Righteous Tarnished, we will have a...
First try, not really, man. I'm not beating General Radahn on first try. I'm not one of those. I'm not like Yui. I don't know if you know Yui. He does a whole lot of like level one tries and stuff like that. He can beat him first try, but not me. I'm an average player. Like level 1 tries, like I saw some people do like level 1 tries even on like Kazan. There's no way I'm gonna do like a level 1 run on Kazan. Lies of P, maybe you could do it, but not Kazan. You must be on another level to do such a run.
My loyal blade and champion of the festival. Both your deeds will ever be praised in song. Now, the vow will be honored, and my lord brother's soul will return, so that he may be my consort.
That's the best cutscene in the game. Like this shot right here. I never thought I could beat him first try though. I think I got lucky there. I think I got lucky. He didn't do he didn't do a lot of his moves, and
Lord brother, I'm going to be a god.
he didn't do a lot of his like long range moves. That's why you have to like always stay on top of him. So like whenever he gets away, you need to always run towards him so that he doesn't do those undodgeable long range moves. And like my physique, he's kind of hard to break stance, right? You can't break his stance very easily. So I have this like crystal tier, stone barb cracked tier, makes attacks more likely to break enemy stances. So it's very important that you break his stance at the beginning of the second phase and have like a bleed build up. So my weapon, I'm using bleed, right? I'm using what's this name? I'm using Lion's Claw, but with the bleed affinity on it. So I bled him very quickly in the second phase. That's why his blood went down very fast. So you have to like plan the fight. But normally, unless you have like an affinity, poison or scarlet rot against him, it's gonna be a very long fight. And then you're gonna run out of heals. All the good players, it's not really all the good players. Like if you like Souls, like I'm pretty sure you spend a lot of time watching other people play and you learn from them. I've seen a lot of people fight this boss, but I don't play Elden Ring all the time. I only play it once a year, so that this is the first time I'm finishing the game with a strength build deck. Yeah, one run a year means that the game feels fresh every time. So, meaning that if you play the game all the time, now you just playing it to be super, super good at it. And then you end up doing like level 1 runs and stuff like that. But in between the years, you have other Souls like games that are coming out. So like, Neo is coming out on the 6th of Feb, I think. Most probably I'll be jumping onto that. Lords of the Fallen 2 is coming out this year. So there's a lot of things that keep you busy. We also have Night Rain to keep you busy when you are bored. But if you just play one game all the time, it's gonna get boring super easy. Unless you're trying to really get good at that specific game. Yeah, I like Night Rain. I I like playing solo on Night Rain too, but the only bosses that I've never beaten solo are the DLC bosses, like the Drag Lord and the Balancers. Those ones I haven't beaten solo. Well, Night Rain is pretty fun, and my main is like is Raider. I predominantly play as a Raider, sometimes Wilder, and I don't like the other ones. I wasn't sure if I was gonna beat this boss today. I'm not sure which game I'm gonna play next. I was thinking maybe playing Sekiro next. Like start a whole new playthrough on Sekiro. Dark Souls 3. Uh Dark Souls 3, I'm at the DLC where with Media. I haven't started the DLC though. I might just stream the DLC because I'm already at the DLC right now. And I'm not really eager to start the whole new playthrough on Dark Souls 3. Because I feel like Dark Souls 3 is harder than Elden Ring. I die a lot of times in Dark Souls 3 just running around exploring. The enemies they hit hard. I don't think it's easy to level up like in Elden Ring. There's no farming like that in Dark Souls 3. I might know them, but with Dark Souls 3, I don't really know like the enemy names like that. I just like the bosses in Dark Souls 3. I think it has some of the better bosses if you compare it to Elden Ring. Like I feel like there isn't a boss that is better than Gale in Elden Ring, honestly. Because of how the boss is set up with the music and how he turns into like goes into second phase. I don't think there's a better boss in Elden Ring than Gale. I mean, if Sister Fried was made in the era of Elden Ring, she would probably be the hardest boss in the game. She'll probably be harder than Melania if she was in this game. I mean, if you look at the Dreadlord, right, he has similar movesets to Gale, and that boss is pretty hard on its own. So imagine if Gale was in Elden Ring, he'll be harder than most bosses. Like if you look at Artorias, right? He's in Night Rain. Artorias is so hard in Night Rain. If you're playing solo, you're having a hard time. But he's a DS1 boss. And another thing with FromSoftware, I think the bosses that are supposed to be hard, in terms of just to be player friendly so that people are able to like finish the game, they make them easier by reducing their health pool. Like if you look at Morgoth, right? He's probably the best boss early on. He's one of my favorite boss fight, like top 3 in the base game. But his health is so low that you beat him so quickly, especially if you're using a strength build. You beat him so quickly that you would feel like he's the easiest boss because his health is so low. Similar here with Mesmer. Mesmer, if you have like an optimized build, his health is so low that you can like first try the boss. I've seen people first try him, fighting him for the first time. So they make bosses easier that way so that the player could progress easier. But those bosses are actually not that easy. If Mesmer had like a health pool like Placidusek, he would be the hardest boss in this game. Because he staggers easily too. Yeah, but for me, I'm like also one of those players because Elden Ring was my first Souls-like. I never played games up until I played Elden Ring. I never played any game. I never had a console or anything like that. So like I played Elden Ring first, then went to Dark Souls 3. Then I realized that Dark Souls 3 is actually harder than Elden Ring. So the OG players are really people who started with Dark Souls 1 are actually like the better players. So now FromSoftware is caught in a hard place now because now the newer players, if they make every boss hard, the older players are gonna complain that the game's too easy, and then it's only gonna benefit the older players. Well, the newer players are not gonna play the game. Like if you look at a game like Kazan, right? Kazan is made strictly for people who've played Souls-like from the beginning, because you can see that in the achievements. It's about 25% I think also beat the final boss, because that game is super hard. So every Souls-like supposed to be like that, because as people play the older games and they get better and better, the newer fans are gonna have a hard time if they keep making these bosses harder. So FromSoftware, they make good games. They have a good storyline, but somehow they can't make every boss hard. So they make the bosses harder, then they make them secret bosses, so that to appease the older fans. But if it was up to me, every boss should be like Radahn level difficult. Every boss should be like Radahn level difficult. I don't want an easy boss. Like if you look at the beginning when Radahn was released and everybody was like, they should nerf him because his slash is too fast. The OG Souls like players were like, I don't really care, I'm gonna beat him anyway. The people who complain are the new players saying the boss is I don't think there's a old FromSoft Souls like player who would complain that the boss is too hard. They don't really care. I'm gonna beat him anyway. I'm going to beat him anyway. It's better to make I would rather have they make a boss that's unfair and I beat it, and nerf a boss and then I beat it after that, so that I want to beat a hard boss. Like similar with when they say I played Lies of P, right? I was before I played Elden Ring, I was streaming Lies of P. And the only hard boss, personally, the only hard boss in Lies of P Overture, the DLC, is Two-Face Overseer. Right? It's Two-Face Overseer. That's the only hard boss in that game. Arlecchino's actually easy as a final boss. Because Arlecchino's moveset is very predictable. And even his second phase is pretty predictable too. You can learn his moveset pretty easily. As long as you have like if you fight him using a weapon that you are fairly comfortable with, you can beat him very easily. But the Two-Face Overseer, he's not that easy. Especially when he gets into that aggressive phase where he turns red. So I see like people complaining that they say Arlecchino is better than Ozma. Which is, Ozma, he's on a different level. Judging from the achievements I'm looking at the number of people who actually finished the game. Ozma is on a higher tier level than Arlecchino. Because when I'm fighting Ozma, you feel like he's really trying to take you out. Like, the fight is so intense, like the type of moves he's doing, he's trying to get you out of there. And sometimes the boss fight could last. I saw somebody fighting him for like 15 minutes, like phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, and then the boss fight was like 15 minutes. That's an intense boss fight. You can't cheese your way out of that, unless, I know there's people who create like overpowered builds like that, but if you're playing him for the first time, you're getting your money's worth. And you said Placido 6 is the hardest boss. Yeah, Placido 6 is the hardest boss for me too, because his health pool is crazy. He's the only boss that I didn't beat. He's the only boss that I didn't beat. He's still, I don't feel like beating him because he's kind of BS, if you ask me. He's kind of BS. Like I don't know if maybe I'll beat him now that I've leveled up a bit, but I hate that boss fight. I hate dragon boss fights in general. See shit like that. Like his health was so I'm hitting him as hard as I can and I'm doing nothing. Thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate it. And this long, like this walk annoys me. That's why I just keep the most of the time. to run to the edge when he does this. Gotta keep to the edge. Gotta fight around here. Fight him here so that when he does this laser thing, you are behind him. He's a very annoying boss. And I think I beat him this time because I think I leveled up a little bit, but the strategy for him is pretty easy. Once he gets into second phase, you need to always fight him at the edge. So that when he does that dive thing, you are behind him and the lasers, you can just ignore the lasers all the time. I guess I'm done with this playthrough then. I think we can do Ranya's ending, and then tomorrow I'm gonna start streaming Sekiro, I think. I think the last time I played Sekiro was 2 years ago. So I wanna pick it back up.
The battle is over, I see. I do solemnly swear to every living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon. Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond. Into fear, doubt, and loneliness, as the path stretcheth into darkness. Well then, shall we? My fair consort eternal.
Greatest game of all time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here for today. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna be up. I'll be streaming around the same time again. So thanks, man. Thanks. But I'm pretty sure you can do it too, right? You could too try. Which weapons are you using again? All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go watch the new episode of Jujutsu. Well, cheers, guys.